What is going on, guys? One thing that I hear people complain about a lot, on trucks especially, is squeaky suspension. In particular, leaf springs. I know it happens a lot on these older Ford trucks. I'm going to show you how to fix it on the cheap. Now, a quick disclaimer, this is a little bit of a temporary fix. Now, my old 99 F-150 used to have a squeak in the back of it, and I would go through and do this fix. Sometimes I'd get 6 months, sometimes I'd get a year, but it is super cheap and easy to do, so whenever it needed it, I would just go back and redo the whole procedure. Let's get into showing you exactly what to do. So when we get down here and look at the leaf springs themselves, usually what's causing the squeaking is you've got the different layers of the leaf spring. There's little spacers. You can see here, there's plastic spacers that go in between them on both ends. Now eventually these things wear out, and then what you get is metal to metal contact. That's what causes the squeaking. First step is we need to jack the back of the vehicle up. Now, you don't even necessarily need to get the wheels all the way off the ground. We just want to unload that back suspension. I've found the easiest way to do that. I just go ahead and use my receiver, where you can get underneath the truck and do it on the frame. You just want to make sure you're not on the axle, because you need to unload all the suspension in the back of the vehicle. Got the back of the vehicle jacked up. Always make sure you chalk your front wheels when you do this. Before we get back under the vehicle, what you're going to need is some rubber. Now, I've actually just used inner tube in the past. This is bicycle inner tube. It works. I found that motorcycle inner tubes are quite a bit thicker and they last longer. So just any kind of rubber, like I said, inner tube has always worked for me. So now with the back of the vehicle jacked up, you can see we've actually got space in between these leaf springs. Now, not as much down here, so if your problem is down on these end ones, then you can get a large screwdriver and kind of wedge it in there to help you do this procedure. But just to show you exactly what we're doing, is we're taking that inner tube, and then all we're going to do is we're just going to try to feed it into the leaf spring itself. So once we get that pushed all the way through, then we could trim the excess off each side so you wouldn't see it. And what that does is that takes the place of the spacer that's either missing or worn out. That way you're no longer getting metal to metal contact. Now you're going to want to do this on both ends of the leaf springs. The ones I've seen in the past, if it happens on one end, it's usually happening on the other as well. So same thing, we can come in, feed our inner tube in there just like so. When we lower this vehicle back down, it pinches that inside there, and that's what will hold it in. Now as these trucks get older, they're starting to get rusty. That's usually when this problem starts to happen. Starting to get a little rust here. But I want to go ahead and inspect both ends of that leaf spring just to make sure there's nothing that's completely rusted through that's a safety hazard while I'm down here. So now that we've got our inner tube in place, all we need to do is lower the vehicle down. So as you can see, that's how we're going to do away with that metal to metal squeak. And that's all there is to the procedure. Now it might take you a couple times, get everything in place, lower the vehicle down, go drive it. Maybe you didn't get a spacer everywhere you needed to, or you need to readjust it to do away with the squeak. But you'll figure out where exactly in the leaf spring that squeak is coming from. And then you're able to just redo this anytime you need to. Now don't forget to do both sides and the front and the back. A lot of times when this is happening, it's happening in more than one location. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.